All right, so this is part 2 of making a knife out of a farrier's rasp. Thanks for watching part 1. If you didn't watch part 1, go back and watch it. So I started on this and I thought, I didn't make any sort of video. So we ended up with a shape last time, the shape of the knife. So the next thing you got to do, especially on a knife made out of stock this thick, I mean, this farrier's rasp was probably between 1/8 and 1/4, so what, like 3/16. But the next thing you got to do is get your bevels in. So I'm sorry I didn't get to show you the method, but I use this grinder back here, and I go in and set this line first right here on each side. So I'm going in at a pretty steep angle and setting my edge. You can see that a little bit here because I don't have the edge completely worked up yet. So this is what I started with, and now I'm working the rest of the knife back to this edge to get the same angle. I've done it on this side pretty much. I'll clean it up after I heat treat it, but done it on this side pretty much. This one, you can still see it a little bit. So I went in pretty steep at first, and then I started going, not flat, but at a real shallow angle to work the rest of the knife back up here. So this would be what you call a full grind, because I just kissed the top of this spine here. You can see that it's still the same width as the rest of the knife, as the tang. But I just got to it and smoothed it up a little bit. Took all the little lines out of the design's still there, but like the scratch lines that were in the rasp, I took them all out. So that's what I'm working on. I'll show you the final, or the bevels, when I get done, and then we'll heat treat it. So I'll give you a little shot of my bevel in here. Took my respirator off so I could talk. But like I said, I'm cleaning this up. I'm getting close to the edge here, but I'm working all this into where it's the same angle right here. You're gonna do that by being real shallow on your angle, kind of following the angle of the edge. It'll bring the rest of that blade to the same angle. Slowly but surely. Sometimes I try to rush it, but it just takes patience. It just takes patience. Anyway, we'll get to the heat treat next. All right, so I'm getting ready to dip this. It's been in this Crest industrial oven we have, over 1500 for about 5 minutes. So I'm gonna dip this rasp and it'll be heat treated. I'll show you what it looks like after I pull it out of the oil, and then I'll show you again what it looks like after I've cooled it down. All right. You're not a dad if you don't click the tongs. Okay, here we go. No fireball like in the shows. There's a fireball, you got too hot. All right, that's heat treated. I'm gonna put it in this aluminum for a heat sink for a little bit, and I'll be back to show you what it looks like, kind of cleaned up after the heat treat. Taking this oven up to 1700 because I'm going to anneal a bunch more rasp. I've got about 12 over here. All right, so this is going to be the last part of this, or last video in this part. Got that knife out of the aluminum heat sink, and this is pretty much what it looks like. A little carbon on there, but looking pretty good. All beveled up, thin enough to final bevel after we temper it. But first I'm going to check the hardness. I'm going to show you how to do that. We don't have any kind of hardness files, but we'll use a chainsaw file. And what you want this thing to do is skate across there. You don't want it to grab. So you're going to go against the knife and that's a pretty hard knife. Anyway, so now we got to temper it back down. because you get a knife hard like this, drop it, it could break, it could bust off the tip, you know, chip, things like that. So you want to temper it back down. And what we do is 2 cycles of 350 for 2 hours a piece. So 2-hour cycle at 350, let it cool off. Another 2-hour cycle at 350, let it cool off. Then it's ready to start working on the finish. Thanks for watching. This was part 2. Stay tuned for part 3.